Coming to you from the Strings and Things studio in Ventura, California, this is the Strings Unraveled podcast. Woohoo! Wait, which podcast did we say this is? This is number...
This is number 24, so it's the end of our second year.
Woo!
It's the 24th episode of the regular podcast, plus including all the book club episodes. And this is the first podcast when we're all back in the studio together, so unfortunately
I forgot what you guys looked like.
There's no video, but you get to hear a little bit better audio, so... a little bit better.
You're not a flat representation on a computer screen. That,
you're both three-dimensional.
Yeah. I don't have to worry about the lighting being weird. Or
there's no brain stress.
Or losing internet because there's...
I don't have to wear my blue light glasses so my eyes don't hurt.
Or worry about bad internet because there's 5 other people in my house using the Wi-Fi.
That's why I was coming here. I have a little present.
A present?
Mm-hmm. Happy podiversary.
Oh, cute.
Oh, this is so cute. It's a little pin with one of those really fancy singer
style.
Yeah, it's like a
what's it called?
Antique sewing machine.
Antique sewing machine, the hand crank, which are so adorable, and I really want one, but they're kind of expensive, and
the fancy restored ones are really
expensive.
Restored
ones are expensive for a machine that only goes forward.
Yeah,
in a straight line. But they're so dang pretty. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's orange with a cute little hand, drawn.
There's a name for those.
Featherweight. That's it. I don't know if we said what it says.
No, it says respect the power tool.
So I will look up who that is.
So it's not a hand crank because it's a power tool.
Yeah.
Your hand has power. It's not the
same.
True. Doesn't really count.
I got it from a really funny quilt designer, and I'll pipe up with who she is. She also does like cute stickers, and I have the sticker on my bias tape maker set.
Oh, nice!
So now we can tell them apart.
I don't have a tape maker. Oh, the bias! I have a bias tape maker. Yeah. That's not the same. When you said tape maker, I was thinking of the kind that does labels.
Oh yeah,
which I've always wanted.
I always want one of those.
But I was thinking, what am I going to do? Am I really going to put labels on everything?
Yeah.
Once everything has a label on it, then what am I going to do? Get more stuff to put labels on.
The designer of this pin is Sam Hunter, and her screen name is Hunter SDS, and she does like a lot of fun word quilts.
Cool.
And cool. She has a free pattern for a really cute little one that says "You Rock," and it's foundation paper pieced.
Oh, that's nice. I love foundation paper piecing.
I know. I like it in theory. I've only done one project, but I keep buying projects.
Well, I will tell you, the tattoo quilt is a lot of fun. I've only did the first month's worth, and I did it early because of COVID-19. It got postponed till July 1st, but I figure it's better for me to get ahead because I'm only good for the first 2 installments of any particular thing before I fall behind and I think I'll catch up, but in reality I know I'll never catch up.
I have to stay on task or it's never happening. I was doing really good with the Lunar Fade knit along by Larissa Brown, and it was exactly the right amount of work to do in on a Sunday of knitting or evenings for a week. It was perfectly divided, but if you get behind a week or 2, then it's a lot. And so I'm still at clue 2.
Are you enjoying it so far?
I think it's beautiful, and I'm happy with what it turned out to be. I think it's really cool. I haven't looked at a lot, but I've seen enough for it to be spoiled.
That's how I felt about the Great British Baking Shawl, and I forget the 2 people that put that together, or the one person. I'll look it up later. But if you look it up, I would do more from that because it was, like you said, when you get a realistically nicely spaced project along, whatever that is, then it's enjoyable.
And you stay on it.
Well, yeah.
But reasonable goals.
Yeah. But that's what I mean when they space it with the idea that life happens and it's not. This is all the work you're going to do for the next month.
Yeah, it was very well designed and a well designed activity too.
Mm-hmm.
So props to you, Larissa Brown.
She's got some great books too.
What are you working on, Karin?
Yeah, what are you working on?
So for months my husband has said, at some point, can we please clean up your stuff that's over there, like in our master bedroom?
And did you punch him in the face?
And I said, yeah, maybe sometime this summer. He goes, well, I was kind of hoping before summer.
And did you punch him in the face?
No, because really it was out of control again. If you've seen my office, it's a pretty good representation of my master bedroom and the game room and other places that my stuff is spilled out over.
My office is terrible.
So
right now.
in the process of cleaning up, and I've got the cubbies like we have here at home, and I just worked cubby by cubby, and I've gotten through almost a whole unit's worth. And I've got 2 at home. But I rediscovered projects that I started, which is good because when I want to jump on a new project and order yarn, I go, what is over here that I haven't finished yet? And I forgot how much I love that. So this is a second one of my own pattern.
Ooh. Oh, cute.
And I'm thinking, I know this is going to sound arrogant, but dang, I was pretty brilliant. I'm enjoying my own stuff.
That's really good.
Because most of the time, I'm a one and done. Move on. Mm-hmm. Whatever. Even whether it's my stuff or somebody else's stuff, that was fun. Let's do something by someone else. But anyway, so this is a fade. This is the Cardia vest, and it's really just like a sleeveless tunic, and it's stockinette, and it is kind of up and over the shoulder. It's top down mostly. And it has these lacy panels that expand out and to create these little wedges.
I like the colors you're using.
Yeah, what yarn is that?
This is a solid in the top that then blends with 2 panoramic gradients from Knit Circus. And the colors go from a light green to a light blue to a denim blue. And this colorway is called Beach Glass. Pretty. Isn't that pretty? It's got little bits of teal and everything.
Karin.
It's a speckly. It is a very, and I wish I could show you the color, but I already know from trying to do this on one of our on one of our Zoom meetings for our drop-in that the lighting in here does not show color accurately. It's a, what do you call it?
Well, I was gonna say its name is perfect, Beach Glass, because it goes from that like very sandblasted bottle green,
which is in here.
A bottle green.
This is the very top. The very top of the bodice is really a solid that because I didn't want it
perfectly.
Yeah. So what I do is I've got 2 gradient cakes, but because I want the colors to pool together and similarly, so it looks like it's dip dyed.
Like a fade,
yeah, like its own fade, but I don't want to have to think that hard about it. I've got 2 of the same 2 skeins of 2 cakes of the same gradient, and so that they don't stripe, because like originally this was with Knit Picks, which their gradient is very much a stripe. Yeah, it's like here's the color and here's the next color, and there's no blend. But in order to make something like that blend, I stagger when I introduce the next one, so that one of these, if you could see this, one of them has already lost the light teal, and is going into the light blue because of the way it blends.
I'm trying to think of the color name I just heard. I'm listening to Bill Bryson's at home, and he's talking about like early house paints and the horrible things they were made of. And so there was this really beautiful green that they would get from I think I'm trying to think of what they called it. I think it was just like verdigris, which is a color we think of as just a pretty green, but like if you took the copper scrapings off of copper, the green copper scrapings, and maybe made it just a little more yellow, that's the color that you have.
Yeah. It's kind of like
it's like a spring green, like a yellowy toned, but not. I mean, it's very much green.
Now, I am hoping that this won't be okay on me. I think I can wear this green.
Yeah, definitely. It looks cute with your glasses too, with the blue in your glasses.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's perfect.
So I am redoing one of mine, and if I can, and I'm thinking, I've done this as a class here once before, but this will just be a different sample. I really like this. This is Greatest of Ease, which is a merino nylon blend. It's pretty nice and hard wearing, so it's not super soft, but it's not scratchy either.
Looks nice.
And in the winter, I'll be able to just wear a long sleeve shirt underneath it, or I can wear it by itself without anything. I do want to make sure when I block it that I don't overblock the bodice or the armholes will be down to the waist.
It's a pinafore then.
Yeah, so that's what's on my needles presently at this exact moment. And then I do have something else, but I think I've already taken up too much time.
No, tell us quick.
Quick.
What is this called? I don't know. I gotta grab my
Quicker!
pen.
No, I'm kidding.
Too late. I blew it.
Is it half brioche?
No.
No, it looks.
It
Is this
looks
that
like
brioche, not half brioche thing you talked about?
Yeah.
it looks like half brioche, but it's not. It's
Yeah.
but it is a really, really cool. This
It's
is
the knit one below.
Rue de
Yeah.
Paris.
Yeah, I
By
think we talked
Alma
about that
Bali.
last.
Yeah, so I'm still working on that.
Nice.
But I love how the yarns. Yeah, see, there's that Knit Picks gradient that would normally be stripy,
Mm-hmm.
but because I'm pairing it with another yarn, the
really subtle. Makes
Yeah,
it more
it's
subtle.
very cute.
yeah, it's very subtle, and I'm at the place where I've already done the back from the sleeves out, and I'm doing the front on either side, and then it'll get joined and you just go down. But I'm going to do the cropped one because I just think it's going to be adorable.
That sounds like it has a very like novel construction.
Yes, it's words. At one point you think, gosh, there's a lot of stitches, but then you got to remember it's the back and the sleeves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like your
there's a lot of
sleeves are
stitches,
being
but-
done, but right now you can see where I'm doing short rows and I'm doing the front, but it goes all the way out to the end where I'm doing, or I'm almost out to the end. I'm still going back and forth, and I like how the pickup is, and
That looks fun.
Cute.
Like it reminds
It is
me
really
of how
fun.
Crate came together in a very novel way, and I liked that a lot. I'll have to take a look.
I took extra care with my pickup so that they would kind of line up a little bit, even with the short rows. Oh yeah, this is the one that I said that normally I am a substitute, a wrap and turn whenever I can. But
Oh yeah, but you couldn't.
this one really does do better with the wrap and turn. There's so much going on with the texture that
Sometimes the pattern does know best.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do.
this one, I listen to the designer. They know what they're doing.
What are you making, Katie?
I think I was working on this last time. It's the Very V-neck raglan by Jessie Martinson that I'm test knitting. So it's top down, deep V crop.
Oh dang,
God,
that's
that's
cute.
adorable.
Thank you. And it's got wides, like you don't do any decreases, so it's got wide, like almost like not bell sleeves, but something like that. So I'm about to do the ribbing on sleeve 1, and then I have sleeve 2 to do, and then it's done.
That is.
I am surprised that you're not doing that. You didn't do the test knit for Jacqueline
Yeah.
the Soul. See, yeah, I totally wanted to do this, but
Yeah.
I already was overcommitted on other
I
things.
have, if I'm honest, I have had like 0 knitting mojo lately, and this is about as
Yeah.
much as I can handle right now. It's just a stockinette tube. So
Nice.
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing.
I've
I
been
had
doing a
0,
lot.
but I need it to be simple.
Yeah.
I need. I am working on Durumi, which is a pattern from Pom Pom from a long. Were you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, sorry.
This is all I'm working on.
Okay, that's what I thought you said.
Yes. I would have stopped
Hey.
you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, I wasn't done yet.
Mow over you. So this is Durumi. It's the cover pattern from Pom Pom a
cute.
couple summers ago.
That's cute. I love the
picture that was shoe
colors.
number. So I have this really pretty lavender that came through in the stash exchange, and this is
What's the neck like? Because that's neat.
it's
Like a fold over hem kind of
yeah.
thing.
So you so you start with any old cast on, and then you're supposed to sew
up.
it down in the end, and so I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
I did a provisional cast on, a crochet provisional cast on, and then I stitched it, like
Knitted it.
knitted it together when it was long enough on the front.
Well,
So
the
it's a
beauty
fold over
of
hem.
that is then you don't have a cast on that's too tight.
Yeah, I mean,
it keeps a nice
it moves
stretch.
with the
it moves with the fabric. Yeah.
and it'll be like a kind of open sort of scoop, not quite a boat.
Karen's working on a very Karin project, and you're working on a very Anne project.
I would dare say you're working on a very Katie project.
but I totally get what Katie was saying, because for about a month, I really didn't even want to pick up the needles. It took me doing something non-fibery at all to make, which I think last time I was going to try diamond painting.
Yeah.
Tried it. I love it.
Oh, good.
Oh, I love it. It's kind of like cross stitch, but more fun and easier.
That's one of those things that I always see, and I'm like, yeah, that does look fun, but no.
I was that way at first, and I have other friends who were talking about how great it was, and I'm like, how good
Is that
for you?
the sort of thing you have to like sit at a table to do?
I do. Yeah,
I do a lot of crafting on my bed, so I don't think that would really work out very well.
Okay, so how you would do that would be to have a TV tray on it.
Yeah,
on your lap.
That.
And I did find that,
watch out for jumping cats, though.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Well, they give you all these little tiny, I don't know why they're called drills. They're not really even diamonds. Sorry if you thought they were working with real diamonds, colored diamonds. They're just little tiny pieces of plastic made in China. But they give them in these little tiny baggies that you can't really close very well.
Right.
And you might, like the one I'm doing has 40 different colors, and some of the shades I really can't tell apart except by the number. So instead I watched some YouTubes about tips of how to organize it, and they look like rows of medicine containers.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, oh, it sounds
like
like
a Monday through Friday take your pills.
Straight to the container store time.
And you put several of those, several of the like sets of 5 go in
a case.
A case, and I've got about 4 of those cases.
Nice.
And that, because you'll use them again and again, but so I do that, and
that reinvigorated you.
Yeah, because there's times where I'm like, I just don't want to focus on anything. And it is nice sometimes to sit at a table instead of always on the bed or on a couch.
I think we overuse our couch. I think we've we've used up this couch that's in our living room, and that's the second sofa set in 10 years. And I'm like, maybe we sit around too much. But what else are we gonna do after the end of like a stressful, exhausting day? Go sit on my bed and I can wear out my mattress.
Yeah,
I'm sure there are other suggestions of what I could do, but
I gotta sit somewhere.
Simmer down, everyone.
Simmer down.
Okay, so this is Darumi from Pom Pom Spring 2018. I can't find the issue number right now. So I use this really pretty lavender, and then the peach is, it's a top-down yoke-shaped sweater. There's like 4 inches of color 1, and then there's this little bit of color work with these cute little triangles, almost like little pennants that you'd hang on a wall.
And then they almost look like little diamonds or little jewels at the just underneath the tip of the pennants.
So just little light stitches that go under each of the triangles.
Whoever came up with that word.
I hate it. But maybe, I wonder if like the dot of color came before the disgusting insect.
Let's hope.
Let's hope.
So that's a really pretty peach that is a kind of newish Plymouth yarn that I talked about in the past. I can't think of what it's called right now. I think it's called
like
Reverb. That's what it's called.
Because it's like a peachy pink.
Yeah, it's so
really
yummy.
Pale. Lovely.
It's like peach sorbet.
What's the dark purple?
That is my good old favorite from Tuesday morning.
Oh yeah.
Fibra Natura, whatever
it is.
The sport, 287 yards per 100 grams. I'm gonna just make it though. And so I'm working on this sweater because its fate and finish is tied to 2 other sweaters.
Oh.
I want to make lady fingers. Have you guys seen that?
What?
It's so cute. I will show you very quickly.
Does this sweater have sleeves?
Yes. Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was short sleeved or.
Well, it's top down, so make it whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's really cute. Darumi is very cute in that it has one sleeve cuff is bound off with one color from the top from the yoke, and the other sleeve is bound off with the other color.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna do it that way because I want to preserve my dark purple a little bit. So I'm gonna bind off the body with the light purple and start both sleeves with the peach. The thing I want to make next is I want to take this dark purple and the light purple and add it to this is a little
Is it ladyfingers?
Yeah. take it to ladyfingers. I have plenty of leftover yarn to make ladyfingers with only stash.
Mm-hmm.
What is ladyfingers? Well, it's a sweater, and it uses like for my size, it uses 300 yards of 5 different colors. But instead, I can just do light and darks of like 6 colors.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan Woltersdorf ladyfinger sweater. It's very cute. That's all I want to say. I'll say more once I start knitting it. And then I want to take some green from the stash I have from my green scrapper cardie. My third scrapper cardie. But I need to finish this one so I know if the purple's going over there so I can start ladyfingers. I am also working on, what do you do when you finish it? Well, no, that's the next segment. But
well,
anyway,
if you're finished, you could start the next segment.
no, because I'm working on 2 more things.
Oh.
Mirabella got some yarn from 100 Ravens at the Stitches, yes. Stitches SoCal. And she was going to knit with it, and finally she gave up on it, and she gave me this set of 8 minis and said, Mommy, would you make me something?
Uh-huh.
And she made some requests of things I know she'll never wear.
She doesn't like yarny things, right?
I don't like yarny things touching my skin. But I am making her the smallest size of Jupiter crop.
Cute.
It is. I'm just at the very beginning of the yoke because I have that. This is very engaging, and I haven't had the brain power for it recently. I am very sad too because I have this cute little zipper bag that came from Daiso. It's a great project bag if you zip it closed.
Uh-oh.
So nobody came across like a little pink ball of yarn, right?
Not that I can remember.
So I only have 7 colors of this now.
Oh no.
No.
But plenty, it blends really beautifully, so there's no like obvious jump, even though I'm missing one of the colors. And I have enough yardage, so I really have to get over it. That's also the other barrier, is I kept like peeking around here in corners thinking I would come across.
You'd find
my
it,
little
yeah.
ball.
Well, when I cleaned everything up, I did not.
I don't even know if I had it unzipped at home, if I had it only unzipped in here, if I had it unzipped
fell out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
But sometimes, like, if you drop something in this parking lot, no one touches it.
It's like the tapestry needle.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about the tapestry needle?
No.
I found a tapestry needle in the parking lot that I had lost. It looked like it got run over a couple times, but this was like weeks later. I found it next to where I parked my car.
I found a bulb-shaped...
No, I didn't. I found it on the sidewalk out here.
Oh, okay. I found a bulb-shaped stitch marker in right exactly where I open and close my door.
And it was just there.
It was just... And, like, I know I hadn't seen it in a while, the color that it was, so it was like, wow, I wonder how long this was just...
No, this was like in the middle of the sidewalk, and I was like, wonder how that got there.
The color of the gradient is Roller Derby Chick. And
oh, what a fun name.
Jupiter Crop is way fun. I am turning this into a cardigan. So I had to adjust how you do the short row shaping a little bit and add stitches for steeking.
And you're using black for the base color?
Yep. I asked Mirabelle, I had black and white. I'm borrowing it from another project. And I asked her if she wanted white or black as the background. And she's like, oh, white, yeah. Because the fade is just this pretty purpley pink little girl's dream. And it would have looked very cute on white. But then I said, she wipes her fingers on her
for a little kid
shirt all the time. And so we had just had not a fight, but she's like, Mom, why did you buy me a white background shirt? You know how I am.
You know how I am.
Because she'd eaten strawberries and everything was everywhere on her white graphic t-shirt. And I was like, well, why don't you stop eating like a tiny animal? I say things to my daughter like that, and then I remember how Alec Baldwin got in trouble for telling his daughter she was a disgusting pig.
Well, you didn't say she's a disgusting pig.
No, but
you were addressing her behavior.
I did say she was eating like a gross little animal.
You're addressing the behavior, not calling her something.
It was a strange feeling to feel a little softer towards Alec Baldwin.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Do you need to do an intervention?
Check your behavior, Anne.
If you're relating to Alec Baldwin in your parenting style, I don't know if that's
with sympathy.
Yeah, stop and think, Anne.
Great actor, terrible human.
Yep.
More one than the other. And then I unearthed an old project that I left alone about a year ago.
Fun.
Well, it's so funny what you were describing because I actually did the same thing about a week and a half ago. Not exactly the same, inciting incident, but I made a list of projects that I know I have yarn for, have started, am interested in finishing.
Yeah.
62 things.
Yeah, I did that once.
I choose not to go that far into it.
Well, so I've made myself a promise that when I have the urge for something new, I will go to the list and resurrect something or commit to finishing something, because
that's too many things.
Like at 2 weeks, let's say at 2 weeks a project, which I could, like, depending on how, most of them are kind of sizable things. In the olden days, when I didn't have a day job, I could pop out a sweater in a week or two.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I get 2 weeks to each of these things, it's like 2 years worth of knitting.
Well,
yeah,
like,
that's true.
see what this marker is?
Mm-hmm.
I started this on Monday.
Oh, she's done about
Dang.
7 inches in the last 2
Yeah.
days. Yeah. So this is called Tesserae, which was from last
yeah.
summer's
I remember.
cover from Pom Pom.
With the braids.
Really
Yeah.
cool.
I had about 2.5 inches done in the body. So this is another yoke shaped. It starts with what is this braid called? Can't think of it right now.
Yep. I can't think of it either.
Estonian?
No, Latvian braid.
Latvian braid,
Okay,
yeah.
I knew it was one of those.
Yeah, you took us to the right part of the world.
Yep, you got us
So
there.
it's white yoke.
Mm-hmm.
And you
which
eat
is
better
was
than-
endless. I tried
Say,
to.
can you control yourself, or do you
I
eat like a
didn't
little
finish.
pig?
Yeah, I didn't finish that story. I'm sorry. So I asked Mirabella, black or white, and she's like, "Oh, I'd like white." And I said, "But are you sure? I mean, remember the strawberries?" And she's like, "Oh no, Mom, black. It's got to be black." I just thought about the pasta.
The pasta?
Oh, you know what? It's good she knows herself so early.
Well, yes, that's
Yeah.
good. I'm like, or you could just eat tidier.
Yeah.
No. Like, no, Mom.
You're not going to gamble all that knitting
No,
time
I
on.
am going to dress for my true self and not.
I also knew the answer, which is why I asked her to reevaluate.
Right.
That. So,
Are you sure?
I had about, like, this is mosaic knitting for the rest of the body of this, and it's really fun, really pretty. It makes a pretty little cross, like, mosaic pattern, like if you think of glass tiles. I had about 2 inches done, and I was completely mosaic knitting wrong. And I'd like to
do
blame
that.
I've not really done mosaic knitting before, and I'd like to blame the chart was published incorrectly at first, and I, readings for suckers, so I just gave it a cursory glance. I'm like, this is a chart. I will execute it. And then they updated it pretty quickly, but I had already done my cursory reading.
Right.
So when I attacked the chart, I had it just wrong in my head. So I was doing like 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. I'm like, this is so weird. It's really just working out like stranding. Because really that's what I was doing.
Oh.
I was slipping stitch, let's say stitch 1 is color B, whatever. So I was slipping the ones I wasn't supposed to work in that row, doing the ones I was supposed to do in color B.
And then doing the color,
doing
the next
color
row.
A the next row instead of doing 2 of the same rows.
Oh, I get it.
And I was
You're
mad
like, this
at,
is just straining that takes longer.
Yes! I was like mad at myself for a while for having gone that far without double checking things. And so I was having an argument with myself about how it would look if I started doing it right from there or continued doing it wrong the rest of the way. Which was the idea of continuing for 10 inches the wrong way was insane.
Yeah.
So I picked it up and I bravely ripped it out and went back to the start of the color work, and I'm much happier.
You're happier in the long run.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, you'd always see it and go,
And then this is the not knitting crochet. I'm also working on
oh, they're coming out great.
Morning Light.
I wish you could see this, what she's doing.
This is a crocheted
That yarn is
shawl
pretty.
that Chris
Who?
Chris Essinger is working on
Oh.
it too. And she asked for help, and I looked at the pattern. I'm like, this is so cute. I want to make this too.
It looks like a fun pattern.
It's very fun.
Just what I...
So you just start with a few stitches in the corner, and it's going to be a triangular shaped shawl where you work to the halfway point when half your yarn's gone, and then decrease the rest of the way.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I was helping her with that one time.
Skinny, it's a long skinny, and it's mostly V-stitch. And then
I love
on
V-stitch.
one edge, you're making like this really pretty shell.
Pico-ish thingy.
That's just part of the way the rows start and finish. And it's so simple and well thought out and a delight to work on. I did most of it in an afternoon of what's done. I'm pretty close
that
to
yarn
the
is really
halfway
pretty.
point.
And it's in an Anna Kappa Fine Yarns
It
2013
with
University
Anna,
bag.
right? That's
Yeah, Anna's the girl sheep.
Yep, that James
Anna
drew for
Cap.
us. Yep.
And Pa.
It's full of detritus from my bedroom floor. Okay, so a non-knitting thing, non-crocheting thing. This is a pattern that was recommended in Super Buzzy's Sanity Craft Kits. And I made an error. I cut enough out for 2 quilts accidentally.
Ooh.
I was going...
Giant quilt.
Well, no, because I think it's already like 69 by 72.
Which is about the size of a lap quilt.
69 by 72 is a twin topper.
Yeah, but it's still a one-person quilt.
I think of like
it's not a quilt for sharing.
45 by 72 is a couch quilt.
Some of us have different size laps.
I saw a blanket for sale on Instagram. It was called like the giant blanket, and it's 100 inches square. So,
oh my god,
oh wow,
you could make it giant.
Yeah, you could.
I don't know how you quilt it, but
yeah, that's what I like. Not. I think
I can tell you how to quilt it because I'm doing an 89 by 89.
Okay, well, I'll have to like watch you for a little while. I mean, my mom does giant quilts like that, but
I'm
just because she knows how doesn't mean that I know how.
Right? Were you born with that knowledge?
I'm thinking about by hand because it's so big.
Okay, well, when you're done, then I'll tell you how I do it because I forgot that was the thing I'm working on.
So Village is a Moda quilt pattern. It's free. I do not recall the name of the designer, but if you go to Super Buzzy's website, you can find it with her Sanity Craft Kits, and you can get all the fun from her. I'm using mostly Stash. I will definitely be going back to her for my backing. So this house is the one that I've started with, and it's going to be a color scheme of lime green and yellow and teal and royal blue and gray, and the background is this really pretty sky blue swirly that I was very happy. I laid out all my pattern pieces, and they're all either lighter or darker significantly than the background. So I'm very happy that I can do a color background. And then the other quilts, there's this pretty royal blue set that I had that the royal blue like tied in. I thought I needed more for the houses in the bright crazy colored one, and it looks like blue and white pottery,
like the willow. I think the plates are called like willow plates.
Something like that. If you think of the pretty blue and white pottery, it's that kind of color scheme.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of that's very cute.
So the Village is made of these cute little rectangles, and there's a door and a triangle roof. And I talked about this last time because I'm also making the Safe at Home knitted blanket, and it's very similar, and it's still little boxes of Ticky Tacky. Still can't think of the musical artist from that. Somebody said Peter, Paul, and Mary sang a rendition of it. So these are like all blue and white. Every house. It's a light or a dark.
Wedgwood.
Or
Wedgwood plates.
Yeah.
Well, mine had a W in it.
Yeah, that's what got me there. I was like, it's not that, but it's something. It's Wedgwood.
I was going to buy it.
It makes sense because they're in the book Blue Willow. It's set during the Great Depression, during the Dust Bowl time. They're so poor that they bring the little girl's bed is the back seat of the car that they bring out every night and put back in before he goes to work. And she has one treasure that's been passed through the family, and it's a single Wedgwood plate.
Oh, that breaks my heart.
If you haven't, and this is Blue Willow. It's
right.
It's something that you would read with your kids. It's that age group.
So I have 7 blue and white houses, and the doors are going to be reds and pinks, and the roofs are all going to be blues or like a red and pink color palette. And it looks very like uniform. And it's
suburb.
Yeah, the background is
cookie cutter.
Getting there. Yeah,
Cookie cutter.
The background, I have a variety of white on whites.
Oh, they are. I saw the Swiss dot looking stuff.
So they're very different tone quilts, but they're both actually like sides of me.
I saw somebody make that. I can't remember who I was trying to see if I could find it on Instagram, and she made it like Christmas themed. So all the houses were like Christmassy, and then there was like a background was like white for snow or something.
I've been totally thinking of doing a Halloween one because
that would be awesome
a lot of Halloween fabric, but I have a different Halloween quilt in mind. But
that would be awesome.
So the blue and white quilt has an HOA.
You definitely.
I've been sitting on this comment all day because I want to put that joke on Instagram. This one has an HOA, the blue and white, and then the like wild fun colors is Hippieville. Like they disbanded their HOA in the 70s and never looked back. And it's this color on the door of the one that I've got for the crazy one it is the color kind of I want to paint my door. Like I want to paint my front door. It's called Twilight Purple. It's
Reminds
like
me
even
of like a
darker
worn denim, but dark.
It's like a grayish, bluish, purplish.
Yeah, it's fabric that Dante used for his shirt that he made recently. But he chose his very own self. But the background color is this dark purple. And so I want to paint my living room door my front door. But I don't want the living room side that color, and it's driving my poor Dante crazy. The idea that the front door will be two different colors.
I'm trying to think if my front door is two different colors.
Yeah,
it is.
Mine is white on the inside, and mine is black on the outside. And
black. I've
Ours
considered
is
black,
like
but
a
I
dark
don't want.
forest green on the outside, and I think it's white on the inside.
Yeah,
That's
like,
normal.
I don't want to
normal.
live with the Twilight Purple inside.
Yeah,
because it just doesn't quite go. I
That's
think
very
it's normal
cute.
too,
That's pretty
but
normal.
and it is actually technically two different colors. I think it's like a natural dark wood color on the outside, but it's a painted color, and then on the inside it's a warmer, more like
it would be
terracotta
cool
color.
if you had that effect on that you because this is not a solid. This has a little bit of a texture, so you would paint the darkest color, and then you would paint a lighter color and distress it, and then.
Because she had all these ideas while I was painting my kitchen last weekend. Like, Mom, you should fade it into the other color because it's meeting in two corners. And she's like, oh, you should like spatter paint so that it fades into the other color. And I'm like,
that's kind of cool.
It's a great idea. Do it at
You're
your
not going
house.
to do it, but...
Do it at your house.
When you grow up, Mirabella, you could do that in your kitchen.
I've had to say that a lot. Where the other thing I'm working on is a kitchen demo and fresh start. And our cabinets are in. Woohoo! The walls are painted. I'm still married.
Nice.
And we just need floor, counter on one side, and a backsplash. And a sink. It's really fun to live without a sink, guys.
Oh, in the kitchen.
Real fun.
You do
Well, we're not
in the bathtub?
cooking. Yeah, we're not cooking. We're like eating out and barbecuing, and it's getting very tiresome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's really fun. So those are all the things I'm working on.
Well, you want to do what you finished?
I do. Do you want to go first, Karin?
Before we move
she had
on.
something else you wanted to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
So, I've had a quilt sandwich put together, pinned and everything for about 8 years.
Oh my goodness.
It was one of those, I didn't really know what I was doing when I first started quilting, and I just started it started growing and growing and growing and growing, and it's all these earth tones and sky blues, and it's really pretty, but by the time I figured out I had so much extra. It's not just pieced on the front; it's pieced on the back. But by the time I told myself stop, don't make it any bigger. I measured it recently. It's 89 by 89, and it will not work on my little regular machine because you just cannot roll that up long enough to get.
No.
And then I tried about 5 years ago. I thought, well, I'll get a hoop and I'll hand quilt it.
Yeah.
In which case, I did not have the right kind of needle or thread. I didn't know what I was doing, and abandoned that and realized, because after just like one day's worth, I'm like, I'm never going to get 89 by 89 quilted. So last weekend, I said, you know what? I want to do a sashiko quilt. Sashiko is it is a thicker cotton. It's not the 50 weight. It's a nice needle, and by the way, it goes through the layers beautifully because it's the right kind of needle and the right kind of thread, and it's not
awesome.
And I stuck with one layer of batting. I didn't try it because I was going to put a second layer in, but then that would mean taking the sandwich apart.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know that was part of it when I wanted to talk you out of it. I was reflecting all week about like, I know it gets colder in Fillmore, but I grew up in Santa Clarita, so I know how cold it can get.
Well, yeah.
And that you
this
wanted
is cotton,
layers.
cotton, and cotton.
I make my quilts without batting.
Just 2 pieces of fabric.
Yeah,
that works.
That's a little too light for me.
Oh,
but the inside's
I like
cotton.
to use like fleece for the back of quilts a lot, so
That's
it's usually
nice.
fleece and cotton on top.
That's
No,
one
that's
of my
just cotton and
favorite
cotton.
quilts. Is my terrible great grandmother, Grandma Tat. She
Did
made
she
a
tat?
scrap. No, she didn't. She.
This one's really
I
scrappy.
don't need to go into Grandma Tat, but she made a 2-layer quilt without any
Yeah, 2
batting,
layers of
and it's
cotton
my
too is
favorite.
nice.
I mean, as a kid, it was
So
my
everything
favorite.
about it's cotton,
Mm-hmm.
but I went to one of my favorite places locally, Super Buzzy. I got all kinds of beautiful sashiko thread and the right needles, and I already had a really big hoop, but what she had that I didn't realize that I would love is they have little sashiko templates. So I would put my fabric down and I would use my friction pen or other type of fabric pen that will wash out.
Get a powder thing, the stamper.
I asked her about that, but that could fade off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she said you can do it that way, but you don't. But or a fabric pen, something that'll either wash off or iron off, like the friction pen. And you just draw the little shapes, and you just do your run because you're doing 1/4 inch size strips going in and out. So when I spread it all out, I realized this is just a giant 9 patch with like 4 borders because I wanted to make it bigger and bigger and bigger. In one day, I got most of the center.
Nice.
Those squares are like 24 by 24, so they're big squares. But having a plan and a bigger needle and bigger thread was so much better. Now I had to pick out all of the previous stitching that I'd done before.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It was a bummer, but it was worth it.
You made me think of somebody I just started following yesterday, thanks to Super Buzzy putting it in her stories and saying, watch this. Kaity Complete. Let me look at her real name. She is an amazing Instagram? Quilt artist, Sean Kimber. There was an interview on Instagram talking about her body of art. She's very much an art quilter, and she's doing some really cool quilting on a quilt that's French knots.
Oh, how beautiful is that?
And pretty. It's not properly sashiko, but it's like a similar aesthetic. And she had this super cool idea.
Oh,
Karin.
is this it? No, that's somebody else.
No. She threaded like 20 needles onto her spool.
What?
And then when it's time for a new thread, she just sends them all down the line and cuts off a piece the length she needs.
Just like when we pre-string beads for knitting.
She used the needles as...
That is brilliant. And then it's already on all your work of...
It's so Sean Kimber, and that's CHAWNE, and her screen name is CAUCHY. Complete. Kaity Complete. She's an amazing fiber artist, and everybody look at her. She's really cool. She'll break your heart, but it'll do in a beautiful way.
Cool.
What did we finish, Karin?
What have I finished? Not much.
That's okay.
But I did finish.
Okay, wait, no. Go ahead.
I finished a bag and I'm using it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, okay, so I've had it cut out. I've had 2 of these cut out, and it's just been a real good week for taking stuff out because I did everything. Almost every seam had to be done twice because I jumped ahead and didn't really read.
Readings for suckers.
Don't believe it.
Readings for suckers.
Readings for suckers who love to rip out stitches.
Did you have some pretty sweet stitcher first? Come on.
But anyway, so this is the widget backpack. It's like a little smaller size backpack from So Sweetness, and it's got I even installed the little eyelet wrong. I installed it first before I added the inside lining layer.
Yeah.
So trying to get a grommet out of layers
and not ruin everything.
Of foam and faux leather was not fun. This is like a sparkly mermaid blue faux leather, and it's a good quality one. I've gotten the cheaper stuff from Joann's and had the straps totally snap and break. Yeah. So we didn't do that anymore.
That's a backpack?
It's like a little backpack. And so the front has a front pouch that has a place for you to put pens and a little place to put your keys. It's got a hole in the front. If you had if you didn't have wireless headphones, you want to be able to put your phone inside, but have the headphone cord come through the bag. And then it's got another pocket inside. It's got pockets all over the place. It's got a mesh pocket with a zipper, and another zipper pocket and a second pouch, and even the bag has another outside pocket, which is really handy in the back.
I love a back pocket on a backpack.
It is, because it's against my body, so I feel fairly secure with it. this is a really heavy duty. I could load this up, and this strap is not going to come apart.
That's not a backpack.
It's not a backpack.
I don't know why you keep agreeing that it's a backpack.
Because she called it.
It's a messenger bag.
That's a cake.
It is a messenger bag.
Oh, because I was like, where's the other
bag.
strap? I don't understand how this is a backpack.
It's a cake. It looks like a cake, guys. So it's
like
a
what?
A cake. It's blue and sparkly, and it has tiny little flowers.
And I have a smaller one. I have a second one that I'm making that's more subdued. That I'll make for my husband. That's more because it could be gender free. And yeah, so I finished a bag.
It's really cute. Tell us
cute.
about the ribbon used on the.
Okay, so the ribbon is a K facet print from Renaissance Ribbons. Because I bought a whole bunch of kits. So I just used up some of my stash. And I used it I just sewed it down on the outside of my strap.
Cute.
To just add some embellishment. It coordinates with my lining, even though they're not the same artist. It's in the same color palette. It has these very modern orange and teal and pink and lime green flowers on it to go with it. I wish you could see. There is like a llama in here in my little rainbow.
Body. Yeah.
You can see a part of the body.
Cute.
And hummingbirds is what my lining fabric is. So.
Oh, I know that fabric.
Is this the one by Anna Marie Horner or something like that?
I don't know. It looks like the stuff that you had the charm packs of that we did Lois's quilt.
It is the same fabric, but in yardage.
Nice.
But in yardage, because I'm like, I like that.
Yeah.
So I actually,
I finished
a bag.
It's a very complex, beautifully made bag.
Yeah, but you know what? It wasn't as complicated when I did it right the second time.
That's usually how it goes.
Okay.
That goes on a pillow. It was not as hard and complicated the second time.
I did it the second time.
I got these. I am a sucker for rainbow metallic bag hardware.
Rainbow
And
multi-chrome.
Multi-chromey. Yeah, so I did install some really nice, what do you call these?
I have no idea.
They're just, they're the type of, it's the type of rings that hold your bag.
Like a D-ring?
It's like a D-ring,
like
but
a D-ring.
It's like a D-ring, but it has a base.
It's got like an anchor.
It's an anchor. That's what it is.
Oh.
It's a ring anchor.
Okay.
And when I looked at it, I mean, technically it is wide enough, but the corners of it go right up to the seam edge. So trying to sew and not hit the metal is a little scary because the pattern is not written for this kind of anchor. But I thought, why not make it...
Make it harder for myself.
Yeah, but make it pretty.
Twice.
So, no.
There's two of them.
So on the second one, I learned... I told myself, okay, don't install it till later in this step, till just before you're about to close it all up.
Order of operations is very important when making bags, right?
It is, and and Sarah Lawson of So Sweetness is brilliant. I don't know how her mind comes up with how this stuff comes together, but it's cool. It was part of a four pattern thing. You can get them all individually now, but that's called the widget. Yeah, it is. Now that I think about it, is the widget messenger bag. But I always think of a messenger bag as being bigger. But
it's like a crossbody bag.
Yeah, it's not
a backpack.
It is not a backpack. But they have those tiny backpacks that are about that size.
Yes, but they have two straps.
Here's where I thought
some of them zip into one.
Here's where I thought she was going to come through because my purse is a convertible backpack or crossbody.
Okay.
Because there's a little thing at the bottom back where you can hook the strap in there and snap it in, which I never do because putting on a backpack purse is very awkward to me. But I did do it recently when I was walking around a huge place called IKEA. Which, just as a quick side note, going to IKEA was like getting in line for
Disneyland.
A ride in Disneyland. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what ride, but
just to get into the store.
Yeah, like the parking lot was not very full, so we were hopeful that it was going to be real easy. We parked, went straight up, and you go at the Burbank store. There's all the parking was closed that's closest to the store because they had a tent of people waiting in line. Okay, that's not a bad line. So you walk past the first tent, and then the stretches around in an L shape. And once you can't see it from where the L shape second part of the line starts, then there's a second tent There's even a third tent, but it wasn't
totally
that busy.
It's like the ride. It's like the Star Tours ride.
Yeah.
When it goes in and out of the side of the building, when you think it's not big, but then there's a whole nother room of people.
It was exactly like that. It was the Star Tours line.
It was a Star Tours line. I know that experience.
So, it actually, we were in line maybe 30, 40 minutes, and we needed the things we went for. Otherwise, we would not have gone to IKEA. Just for fun. Yeah. IKEA is always fun, but
is that because they limit the people?
Yeah, they were metering.
It's the COVID.
I've never been in there in such a pleasant, even though there were people.
It was worth the metering.
Yeah, there were people who were not respecting social distancing like everywhere. But my son had a great idea. You take a yardstick. Have I shared this one already? No. Okay, you take one of your yardsticks. Put a tennis ball in the end, and he does it so funny because he's like quiet and stoic. And he's like, no, Mom, you need a social distancing stick. So you take it and you go, and you just poke people with it. That's why you
just nudge them until they're far enough away.
How do they respond?
That's why you need the tennis ball in the end. We haven't done it yet.
Yeah. I love that idea.
But I'm hearing horror stories about people getting up in other people's space and doing assault-worthy things that you wouldn't have done in the normal times.
People just don't realize that masks are state mandatory now. And
my mask protects you and your mask protects me. So if I'm not wearing a mask, I am affrontedly not protecting you.
Right.
It's not for me, it's for everyone else. But anyway, enough of that. So I made my purse into a backpack to walk around IKEA. I think it was the first time since I've owned it, which is close to a year.
Yeah.
What have you finished, Katie?
Nothing. No.
That cannot be true.
I'm really worried about you, though.
No. I haven't really finished anything because I haven't really been knitting. My niece is turning 5 on Thursday.
Aww.
And
so Jinx.
I was at Michael's and I found this kit for a latch hook rug.
I saw it peeking out of your bag.
And so I made it and then I turned it into a pillow.
Oh, it's so cute.
So it's
I
think it's supposed to be the sun, but it just looks like a big ominous happy face.
Yeah.
And a rainbow.
Oh, I love the fabric
and a heart,
on the back.
And then I found unicorn fabric in my stash.
Oh,
so this is very Ameren. She
so
loves
perfect.
unicorns. She loves rainbows. So it's a little 12 by 12 latch hook kit.
It's fun
that
to
I found
do
at Michael's.
It's fun to do non-knitting other fibery things.
Yeah,
it's
I haven't really felt like knitting, but this was fun because it's like stupid, brainless.
Yeah.
But like enough engaging where it's like I have to follow a chart.
Yep.
But it was like the perfect thing I needed to do. There is. I learned. I was like, this is hard. And then after a while, I was like, oh no, I've just been doing it a stupid way.
I think that I've been tempted to try latch hook again. Because as a kid, I could never focus on it to finish it.
I never finished one when I was a kid.
That's punch.
Punch needle is different.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have seen some things that lead me to believe that I was also doing it wrong too. So.
Yeah. Well, I would be happy to share what I've learned.
Oh. Okay.
So it was just the kit for the top, and then it was like turn it into a pillow or a wall hanging with no information as to how to do that. So I turned to YouTube.
You know that.
And I was like, oh, a pillow, that's a good idea. So I just had a little pillow form and I added a backing to it.
Fabric.
Isn't it cute? It doesn't match at all, but it's
it goes.
Unicorns
but
and rainbows. Yeah, definitely.
It's like that beautiful minty turquoise.
Yep.
And gold
metallic
unicorn
stars.
And a yellow zipper because that's all that I had. But there's a lot of yellow on the front.
Very Aunt Katie, I'm sure.
Yes.
I love it.
So it's a cute little throw pillow she could put on her bed or something.
Aww.
And I'm very happy with it. And then I went to Michael's today to look for like something else to add to her gift, and I think we ended up with James found it. It's an inflatable easel. So it like it's for your I know. I was like, why?
Okay.
And you like fill it up and it has like a base that you like fill with water so it's sturdy.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's air for the rest of it, and it's got this big like almost like whiteboard. And you color all over it with your washable paints, and then you hose it off in the backyard, and you start over, which is
wonderful.
Like they love playing in the backyard in their little blow up pool, and she loves anything with coloring. And I was like, this is perfect. So this is gonna go with her inflatable easel.
It's gonna be the star of the birthday.
So this is for when we go give her a drive-by birthday party on Thursday.
Aww, that's so cute.
I have to wrap it, but that's the only thing I finished.
Is that a project bag you've already had?
This one?
No, that one.
No, this is my laptop
It's so
cover.
cute. Did you make it?
Yes.
I love it.
So the fabric is
clever
from
clever girl.
the fabric's from Spoonflower, and I've had it in my stash for like forever. So when I got my new computer, I made the little.
I love that.
That's too
I'm gonna have to
cute.
look for that. Dante would go nuts for a shirt.
Yeah,
in that
it's
fabric.
got a T-Rex and a Velociraptor, and it says "Hold on to your butts," and it says "Clever Girl," and there's an amber with a mosquito in it because
This is because it's from Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah.
So fun.
that's my laptop cover.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and that's really all I finished in the last month.
But
I've never finished one of those.
I had never either, but
I'm
it's
impressed.
small, so it was because I was like, "Oh, look at this one! This one's bigger," and I was like, "No, don't do it, Katie." And I bought this like a week ago. I was like, "You've got like a week until her birthday, so no, start small." But it was fun, so I would probably do it again. And I was following someone on Instagram who's making something with latch hook, and it's all with her like fingering scraps, and she's holding like 4 pieces of fingering together and making some big shaggy rug thing. And it was like, well, that looks fun too.
Yeah, I was thinking that it would be fun to punch needle in a similar way to like somehow gather your trimmings and stuff from projects for a year and punch needle with
something.
that.
Yeah.
and
But
then
those
it
are
would
just
just be just grab
completely
randomly
random.
grab a color and
Which is hard to do.
It's very
Like,
hard to do.
Very challenging.
The brain doesn't really want to go random.
It's
it wants
not
order.
something humans are very capable of.
I know. Yeah, it's hard for me.
Yeah. Okay, my turn.
Yep, your turn.
All right. I have finished first some sewing. I got on the burrito pillowcase bandwagon. They are awesome.
They are.
I am going to make 4 sets for my husband's and my bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going all dark colors because there's something about my handsome, wonderful husband that stains linen. And any light colored sheets we've ever had.
Don't say
I
that.
can tell you what it is for my husband. It's the hair product.
Because
he has curly hair and he's got tons of
I
hair.
was like, I don't want to know.
It's a pillow.
There's
It's
something
a pillow.
about.
Let's just think about where it's at. It's a
It
pillow.
could be
Drool. It could be
use a
drool.
lot of
We're not going to
product.
talk about drool.
But my father-in-law apparently also, it's something about their body chemistry. And probably if I washed the sheets in the way my grandmother would, which is with a splash of ammonia, that usually gets rid of body.
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Body stuff. Yeah.
I destroy fitted sheets, but it's always because I've worn a hole where my feet are.
Oh,
and I
are
do
you
this.
a kicker?
I
Like
don't think
a
I
restless
am.
leg?
James likes to tease that I have hooves because he's like, "How did you ruin this already?" Like
Not
I
that
bought
you're
sheets
kicking
like
him, okay.
Toenails. How often do you trim your toenails?
they're always
Yeah.
trimmed.
No.
I don't know
husband
what
has
it is.
to let-
Apparently I wiggle around a lot because there's always like a worn spot, and then eventually my foot breaks through, and I'm like,
no.
I've
My
ruined these.
husband has stiletto toenails.
No.
Oh, I saw somebody on Instagram.
It's because he doesn't follow them and then they get rough and they will will cut through that fabric.
There was
No, this is the
somebody-
fitted sheet, not the top sheet.
Somebody who
I'm talking
like,
about the fitted.
Oh.
Yeah,
He
because
must
he
sleep upside down.
He did.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
he's a belly sleeper. There was a picture of somebody's nail
Oh,
filed.
I've seen
Did
that.
you see that? That
Like
was
filed into tiny points.
Yeah, and that they kept it that way and would just scratch everyone they met. Which is what it sounds like your husband's
sounds
doing with
evil.
his toenails. Oh, I think it's probably very bad. It's interesting. Like, I'd like to see it in action, but not do it nor be the victim of. So I have made 4 pillowcases for Kevin and I, and then I had to come up with a present for my sister. Our birthday is
So
in,
freaking
both of us
cute.
are in August.
Uh-huh.
But we don't see each other that often. So she was in town and she's like, I'd like to see you for coffee or something, and I'll have your birthday present. It's June.
Yeah.
It's the middle of June. It's literally 2 months for my birthday when she says this.
I would have been like, don't give it to me.
I know.
You can
So
wait.
there's no point in doing that. So I made her pillowcases. They are flannel, which is completely inappropriate.
Stop.
They are Snuggle flannel from Joann's. That is this pink and black and gray plaid. And then they had Aristocats themed flannel with a little white kitten whose name is Marie, which is my sister's name, and she loves cats. So I made her 2 burrito pillowcases and gave her some tea.
I figure she must have opened it because I saw you post it on social media. And
Well, she doesn't do Instagram, I don't think.
Oh,
but
that's
just
safe.
in case. She said she knew that I did, so I felt a little wary of that. But anyway.
They were cute though.
Who's been talking?
Right. So pillowcases, more pillowcases. I finally finished the Simpler Sinister sweater.
Ooh, I saw
for
that on
Alexander.
Instagram.
And I am like 100% into making the sleeves separately and grafting them together. I did that for him, and I put the first sleeve on to see if it was working. It's only the second time that I had. Well, I guess it's only the second time I've done that technique, and it fit him. It couldn't have fit him more perfectly.
That's great.
So I went to town on the second, and it's so perfect.
Nice.
Actually, the neckline's a little deep, but he didn't complain about it. And there's tips in the pattern about how to not do that next time, but I'm never making it again.
Yeah.
It's a great pattern. It's just a lot of stockinette. And then I finished Jupiter Crop.
So
Please
pretty.
ignore the ends. I'm still counting it as finished. Yes,
I see nothing.
Cute.
But adorableness.
So this is out of that Vovo yarn.
I can't wait to see it on you.
What, you want to see it on me?
No,
Okay.
I said I
It's
can't wait, but really
hot.
I can wait.
It's really hot right
Yeah.
now.
I already
Air conditioning.
put that on.
I did a charcoal and a cream and a tan and a gold and a red.
Beautiful.
And I love it.
Have you tried it on?
I have tried it on. It looks great. It's perfect.
That's
I
awesome.
made it probably 2 or 3 inches longer, which again the pattern tells you where and what to do for
Did
that.
you just repeat that chart at the bottom?
You repeat the feathers, but I have to say I didn't love it when I saw too many repeats of that. So
Right.
I
It's a delicate
added,
balance.
I added like 1.5 inches in the ribbing also, which is very cute.
It looks great.
Thank you. I am doing this new thing on my phone where I set a bedtime and my phone goes black and white until my wake up alarm. And so it's a great time to scroll through your Instagram to see if your contrast is on.
And is it?
The red is a
I was
little
gonna say.
But it's okay. I mean, it depends on
It still
what black
reads.
and white filter you're using too, because I tested a bunch of times before I actually committed to it. It could be better, but I like it, and it was inspired by my neighborhood rooster that runs the neighborhood, so it had to be red. I also finished my red
Cute.
Scrapper Cardi. So there are gift yarns in here. There is the pink yarn from
Oh yeah.
I Knit.
Knit to pearl
Knit to
that Karin,
something. The Galentine's Day color.
Galentine's.
Galentine's.
That Karin gave us for Galentine's Day.
Which I should actually do something with.
And then I also used my blind date from an earlier episode, which was the sock blank, and I just held it two together and kept it the way it was, and it blended perfectly into an apple tree yarns that I had as well to finish
Love it.
So I am so in love with this.
Do your sleeves match?
They don't.
They
I
coordinate.
will put this one on actually.
They
'cause it's
coordinate.
easier to take
They
off.
don't have to. That's one of the things
That's
I
what
loved
I
when I saw your
love.
picture is that they are not matchy.
I love about
It's much
Scrapper
more-
is the asymmetrical sleeves. So I had quite a bit of a second ball of this one.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to use up all the leftovers from the cuff, and then that shortened how much of
Because you knitted it bottom up.
stripe. Yeah.
Ah.
So I did these. This is my third set of sleeves that I did bottom up.
Was that the technique that you credited me for and I have no memory of?
We don't know who the originator was.
Oh, good. Because
If the originator listens, if someone who knows her listens, tell us. So I changed
been
the
you.
sleeves. No, I like it, and maybe it was. I changed these sleeves a lot from the first time, the way it was written. The other sleeve is a little bigger and stays bigger.
Those look like they're nicely fitted.
This is exactly the way I want it,
Uh-huh.
and it fits my arm exactly. If I ever lose weight, it'll be a little more.
It's
But
cute.
Who knows? I love this so much.
Is that the red that you knit a sweater for?
No, this is more of this.
Oh.
The Fibra Natura from Tuesday morning.
Classic.
I love this yarn so much. I'm gonna buy it every time I see it there. Red sweater for Alexander.
Yeah.
No, that is much nicer yarn. That is the Plymouth Superwash.
Mm-hmm.
This is great. It's a great red. It's a red.
Mm-hmm.
And this was all stash.
That's awesome.
So good job, Anne.
Yay. It looks well planned.
Thank you. I love this sweater enough that it is feels like it's 105 degrees in here, and I don't want to take it off.
Yeah, it's warm in here.
But
For
I'm gonna
the
take it off.
listeners' sake, I turned the air conditioner off. So you're welcome.
So I'm excited about my green scrapper,
Uh-huh.
which will probably be the last one. Famous last words, right?
What color was your first one?
It's like yellows and purples.
So you need a blue one.
Yeah. Well,
and then maybe like a neutral, like a black and white.
The
gray.
blue is true. Like I'm thinking a lot about needing the blue one, but I never made 4 of anything.
Do you have it in you?
I don't know because I need to get through the 3rd one first. But I can make my sleeves first because I know exactly how I want my sleeves because these were very successful.
True.
And
okay then.
That's the part I hate, right? Sleeves. Those are the things I finished. Just 3 sweaters.
Just 3. And I
That's
didn't
it.
finish any knitting projects.
Well, what a strange change. I was working on that Simpler Sinister for a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that I'm going by your rules of it doesn't matter when you started.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely doesn't matter.
That was like a 6-month project. I mean, from conception, it was like 9.
Yeah.
Okay, time for our topic.
This was Anne's idea.
So we all listen to lots of different kinds of music, and I thought it would be fun. We've talked about our movies and TV shows and
we haven't
books,
talked about
but
music
we've never
before.
talked about music, but we all have distinct music tastes. So I found a list of 30 song categories.
Questions, yeah.
And we all took some time and got some answers. So I'm going to run through and we're gonna tell
say
you what we think about these categories or
we're
questions.
gonna give if you could just name your song. If you want to talk about it, I'm gonna give you 1 sentence.
Okay. 1
That's my challenge. Otherwise, this could be like a 3-hour podcast.
Who is that? Who wrote Finnegan's Wake, where it's a stream of consciousness and there's like no punctuation?
I have no idea.
That's my sentences. All right. So I will throw the question out and we'll go Karin, Katie, me.
Okay.
Okay. 1. A song you like with a color in the title.
Yellow by Coldplay.
Oh,
That fits.
Coldplay.
I have Mr. Blue Sky by ELO.
Oh, all right. It Ain't Easy Being Green, sung by Kermit.
I love it. So let's walk back a little bit.
Okay.
So this is like each question. There's 30 of them. I don't know if we'll go through all 30.
Let's
but
see.
That's what I'm not gonna talk about.
So and the way I chose mine was like, I sort of thought about like favorite artists, bands, whatever, and tried to limit it to just not like any song. Like it had to be a song that I actually really, really liked.
Yeah.
And I tried not to repeat artists, but I still got a couple repeats in there.
It's like strong open with Coldplay, Karin.
Yeah.
Because my kids are like, you're still listening to that? That's very 90s. But see, I didn't only discover the 90s a few years ago because I was busy having babies during the 90s.
Yeah.
So it's all new to me, and it never gets old.
A song you like with a number in the title.
99 Red Balloons by Nina.
Oh, that's
Nice.
good. All right.
I tried to find a different one, but I couldn't take 9 to 5 from Dolly Parton off my list.
Oh!
That appears later for me.
Yeah.
As an honorable mention.
Yeah,
actually. Yes.
I might have more Dolly on my list.
Ooh. Because you were trying no repeats, so they must be really...
I had to pick it.
Yeah. 1 is The Loneliest Number.
Yeah.
And I like that from the X-Files soundtrack.
Okay.
Mulder's in a bar drinking. It's perfect. It's very Mulder. A song that reminds you of summertime.
Cruel Summer by Bananarama.
Oh.
Yep. I have Ocean Avenue by Yellow Card. Does anybody remember that song?
No.
It was from like the mid 2000s, very much when I was in high school. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna check that out. Summer Lovin', John Travolta,
Nice.
and Olivia Newton-John. I tried not to do that one actually because it's so on the nose.
There's got to be something
But
else.
it just kept coming up every time I came back to it. A song that reminds you of someone you would rather forget about.
Somebody that I used to know.
Oh, that's
so
pretty
good.
That's very good. Ex-boyfriend that I think of every time.
Okay, originally I wrote, I don't know, I forgot already. Don't waste energy on people that you don't want to forget.
Oh, that's good.
But then I wrote that. No, I love that. I just did.
Oh,
Here's
and I'm going to wrap it later.
Mine.
What theme wrapping paper?
I have From This Moment On by Shania Twain because it was the wedding song of somebody I really don't like.
Oh, all right.
And I was at that wedding. And it was really hard for me to come up with something else.
I Try by Macy Gray, which I love that
That
song.
was almost on my list for a different category.
I love Macy Gray, but it was a song I listened to a lot during a very bad time, and every time I hear it, I'm like viscerally taken back
right back
to the way I physically felt during that time. Forget emotionally. Okay. A song that needs to be played loud.
Girls just want to have fun.
That's coming up on my list.
I have The Fire Inside by Bob Seger.
Oh.
I'm unabashedly a very big Bob Seger fan.
I'm going to try that one. And full blast. Fire
Inside.
I'm so impressed that I was mostly able to, like, if not come up with the actual name and artist, I could put enough together that Google could give it to.
Oh yeah, you're like, throw some lyrics at Google and you're like, that's exactly the song I was thinking of.
So bad at this. I couldn't believe that I was capable of coming up with 30. Mine is Love Fool by the Cardigans and also Kiss Me by the Cardigans. Full blast. And sing it at the top of your lungs while it is playing full blast.
Yeah.
Okay, number 6. A song that makes you want to dance.
On Top of the World, Imagine Dragons.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check that one out.
Oh, no, I do know that one.
Yeah. You'll see I'm bad at this, so I only know my songs.
Yeah. I have I'm Still Standing by Elton John.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
And this is Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Yeah.
But the Elton John one's good. Number 7. A song to drive to.
The entire soundtrack to Hades Town. Every song of it.
So funny because I'm going to give a whole
gotta go Broadway, and I got the soundtrack for Christmas. It's a 2 CD set, and it's like, okay, I'm stopped at the light. Quick, change to the next CD. Whole soundtrack.
I love that you still use CDs.
I was just giving someone else a hard time about that.
Because my car says it will Bluetooth, but only if I have an Apple product. It does not. It does not.
You don't have an auxiliary port?
I have an auxiliary port. It doesn't recognize my phone. It doesn't recognize Android.
Weird.
It's weird. Yeah.
I have Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf.
Ooh, that's good. Mine is Footloose, the entire Footloose soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
Like I was a kid, my brother's girlfriend gave it to me, and he had a Mustang, and I'd sit in the back seat. John would have the windows down all the way, and we'd be blasting that soundtrack. And
fun.
I want to drive fast when I listen to that music.
Oh yeah.
Number 8, a song about drugs or alcohol.
Last Dance with Mary Jane.
Oh, that's good.
Tom
I
Petty.
almost chose that.
It's actually good to be
I
a
was
little
actually
older.
thinking about that one for later on the list.
I have White Rabbit from Jefferson Airplane.
Oh.
Because I love Grace Slick. She's so
Oh
cool.
yeah. I love that song.
Sex and Candy, Marcy Playground.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one, Alcohol by Bare Naked Ladies.
That's about alcohol.
How could you not choose that? Sex and Candy is actually not about alcohol and drugs, but how can you? How can you not? Number 9, a song that makes you happy.
Rock Lobster or any B-52
That
song.
might be later on my list for
good.
something
I
else.
pretty much, it was hard to not. It's
love
like,
the
wait a minute, do I
B-52.
do which B-52 song? I mean, do I have to choose or pretty much any B-52 song?
That's funny
I
because
like that.
I love them, but I couldn't find a spot on my list.
Oh, I
That's
found room
amazing.
for them.
All right. What is song that makes you happy?
So this is my other Dolly Parton. It's Light of a Clear Blue Morning, which was a very close contender for a song you have to listen to very loudly. That song is so good.
Oh,
And Dolly, like, it starts out nice and pretty. At the end, she's like freaking going for it. The band is like so extra. It's so good.
Chills about
Yep.
you talking about it. All right, mine is Banana Pancakes by Jack Johnson.
Cute.
I love that song, and I like to be making banana pancakes. Well,
You'd have to listen to it.
Yep.
I'm gonna make a playlist on Spotify of all my
I
songs.
know. I was totally
a
thinking
great
that
idea.
too.
I'm gonna do that before I leave.
I don't Spotify,
Oh, you should.
but it would be fun to share. Like I would get on there to share these song lists.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10 is a song that makes you sad.
Everybody Hurts by R.E.M.
Yeah. Mine's So Far Away from Carole King. That song always makes me really sad.
Oh. Mine is Painters by Jewel.
Oh, I don't know that song.
Sad song about people building a life together and dying young.
Oh.
11. A song that you never get tired of.
Yeah, this is my you only have one song that you can play over and over again and you're stranded on an island, this is that song for me.
Whoa.
Called Feeling Good by Nina Simone.
All right.
And I gotta say, I first heard about it while watching Handmaid's Tale.
Oh.
And it was like in the first season or end of the first season, and I have been playing it over and over and over again. I never get. It's awesome.
Mine's Never Going Back Again by Fleetwood Mac. That's like top 3 favorite songs. It might be my favorite song.
Wow. I love this song. I never get tired of it, but the description of having to listen to any song over and over again on a desert island scares me.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't. That was my definition.
Sure.
That's not what the list originally defined it as.
Bad Leroy Brown by Jim Croce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Leroy Brown. I think part of what attached me to that song is my dad used to play it when I was little, and it was so thrilling to like hear those naughty words. Baddest man in the whole damn town.
You said damn.
Yeah. Okay. The next one is number 12. And that is a song from your preteen years. And it's nice we have a sampling of ages.
I was, I know you're not going to believe this, but I was a pep girl in junior high.
You know, I totally buy it.
And we were in a competition, and our song was Play That Funky Music, White Boy.
Oh, that's fun.
What a slice of life.
Oh, yeah.
If you can imagine little girls in their like kick shorts doing disco to play that funky music.
That was hilarious.
So cute. Oh my god, I want a picture right now.
Yeah.
Katie?
All the Small Things by Blink-182.
Oh, that's a good song.
It was hard to narrow it down to only one pop punk sort of song from that time.
My song is Oh My God.
Oh my god.
Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot.
What a classic.
Well, my favorite, it's a little, I'm kind of stretching it for preteen years, actually. I guess it's if you're double digits. I never believed that. I thought 11 to 12. But 4th grade, I went to Catholic school. We were marching from our school to a local park for like our summer day of fun before school ended. And the whole 4th grade class was singing that.
Singing it?
Oh. Marching down Lyons Avenue.
Was this a Catholic school?
Yeah.
Nobody told you to stop?
Sister Mary Martha couldn't stop us because we were done with her. Anyway.
That's amazing.
Enough stories. That was.
I think I might have been 13 when that song came out, but I counted it. I know it's technically not a preteen, but
no,
I think a preteen is like 11, 12, 13.
Yeah. So I think you're fine.
Okay.
And I love that song so much, Baby Got Back. Cause don't play it for your money dance at your wedding.
No.
It was a mistake, Joseph. Anyway, love you, little brother. Number 13, one of your favorite 80s songs. Who had trouble with this one?
Oh, not at all.
Because there's a lot to choose from. Well, there's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, there is.
I had a specific song in mind, but then when I started looking for the name of it...
It's something I thought a lot about, actually, in the last few months, called It's the End of the World as You Know It by R.E.M.
Oh, I love that. Is that 80s? Like, what, 89? It's late 80s, right?
Lady, whatever.
Hey, it still counts.
Mine's from 1980. I had to check, but it's Let My Love Open the Door by Pete Townsend, because I was trying to think of a song that wasn't like a real 80s, like super 80s kind of, like, I'm not a huge fan of the 80s genre, so that one fit. And it was in 1980.
Did not know that.
I mean, I appreciate like 1 or 2 good songs in the right mood, but like,
all right.
Yeah.
That's, depending on, most of the, I like a lot of the bands from, and some of the songs I really liked, I was like, when I was looking them up, I'm like, oh, I had never heard of that band. But, there's a lot of one-hit wonders.
Lots of one-hit wonders.
In the 80s.
Take On Me.
Oh, yeah. Great music video.
My son.
That's what, I was a little girl captivated by that. Everything about it, like the love story, the fight, the ending. I love it.
Trevor loves that band. My middle son.
I can't say I know anything else about Aha, but I love that song so much. And I found it by Googling because I couldn't think.
Is that where you got to the first MTV music videos?
Yes, that's exactly what I was. Exactly how I found it because I just couldn't find it in my head. Number 14, a song you would love played at your wedding. Now, all three of us are married already,
Yes.
but
I didn't choose any song that I actually played at my wedding.
I definitely chose.
No, I have a song that was on my playlist, and, and I'm gonna say it. That bitch of it the night before made us take it off our list.
What?
Our wedding coordinator for the at our church took it off our list.
Really would have loved it played at your wedding.
We had it.
What is it?
It's called "The Meeting" by Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, and Howe.
Why did they take it off?
Because she said Pastor Jack doesn't allow any non-Christian songs, which we were good friends with we're talking about Jack Hayford. We were good friends with his niece, who said Uncle Jack didn't make that rule. But okay, this wedding coordinator made the couple after us made the bride cry. So this was not
wedding
her.
Coordinators are not like high on my list. Mine kept asking where my dad was.
I was
dead for a long time.
So because we had to scramble to do something, our friend who was playing piano for us did not know that was taken off the list, and so he was told to get up there and play something, because also we were going to have the church pianist play, and they never showed up. So he played an original piece for us, but he didn't really know when to stop because he didn't rehearse this part. And I'm standing at the door waiting to go in, and the wedding coordinator says, "When is that idiot going to stop playing?"
What a piece of poop.
Yeah, this was not her gifting.
So say that again. The Meeting
by, if you look up ABWH, Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, and Howe, these were members of Yes after Yes broke up.
Gotta look for that.
The Meeting, it's gorgeous. You will love it.
Okay, what song did you pick that you didn't play at your wedding?
So I was thinking about this because I was like, I just said the other day, I wish I had gotten married when this song was out, because it would have been so fun to dance
I've
to.
said that to a lot of things.
So I chose Old Town Road by Lil Nas X.
Ah!
Because I was listening to it with Finnegan, and he was dancing his little heart out, and I was like, this is such a fun song to dance to. And I was like, I wish this was out when I got married. That would have been so fun. We had Gangnam Style, though.
That's
pretty fun.
That's a winner for Kevin enjoyed that.
My husband
You gotta have those stupid like Mimi songs for like.
My husband wanted me so badly to dance at your wedding, and I was just overwhelmed with self-consciousness, almost to the point of tears.
I only knew you and Katie and Lois.
Yeah.
So and Bella partied hard.
For whatever reason, because I used to dance a lot, and I took dance lessons even, but I hadn't done it in so long. I was just not feeling in a good place.
That's okay. Better Together, Jack Johnson. We absolutely played that at my wedding, and I love
Yep.
that song. Number 15, a song that is a cover by another artist.
I love this song. I did not know it was a cover until I looked it up. Tainted Love by Soft Cell was originally written by Gloria, sung by Gloria Jones.
I did not know that was a cover.
I love that song.
I have You Can't Hurry Love. Phil Collins does a version of it that I really, really like. And it's one of those songs, I'm like, why is Phil Collins singing this song? But it's really good.
Phil Collins also covered the song I'm going to share. So,
wow.
Interesting. But that's not the version that I'm going to share. You Can't Hurry Love, Phil Collins. True Colors, originally sung by Cyndi Lauper, of course. But Peter Gallagher sings it in the Zoe's...
Infinite Playlist.
I love that show.
So it's called
something incredible or something playlist.
I could be wrong.
It's something playlist.
Anyway,
it's Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist is a movie.
Yeah. Anyway, that new sitcom that I totally adore, but can't think of its name. Peter Gallagher is dying of something where he's getting trapped inside, and they have this moment where he sings her True Colors. And I am weeping.
Oh.
And it's so good. And I didn't know Peter Gallagher could sing so well. And there is also a Peter Griffin version of that from Family Guy.
Oh, no.
And Kevin and Dante are making eye contact across the room while I am like engrossed
you're crying.
and weeping. And of course, if Peter Griffin sings a song, there's going to be some foul language and some improvising. So it gets to this particular poignant moment and they're like, and don't be and it's not nice. And they ruined it. But that show is great. Watch it if you haven't watched it yet. Peter Gallagher sings great. Number 16. One of your favorite classical songs.
It's called Danse Macabre. It's kind of dark. It represents, I guess in the medieval period, the danse macabre was a literary and pictorial representation of the procession of dance of both living and dead figures, expressing the medieval allegorical concept of the all-conquering and equalizing power of death. But I loved it so much, I named one of my designs after
you
it.
did. I have been watching an old British show from the 90s called Jonathan Creek, which is this magician's engineer who solves crime with a journalist.
Oh.
And the theme music is a variation on Dance Macabre. You should watch one episode just to see, so you can just hear your music. All right, Katie, classical song.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's Ein klein Nachtmusik by
A Little Night Music.
Yeah, by Mozart.
Mozart.
Yeah. My nephew Finnegan, who I was just talking about, watched a lot of Little Einsteins when he was a baby.
Oh.
And that was his favorite one. And I would remember I would pull it up on YouTube and we would watch a symphony play it. So it was number one, the only one I could think of off the top of my head, but also it's a good one.
I'm just not I enjoy classical music, but I am not educated.
I'm not gonna sit down and just listen to it either. Maybe as background, but I couldn't name you a whole lot.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say Blue Danube by Johann Strauss, and I am very drawn to Strauss waltzes. When I'm actually actively paying attention, I really like Strauss waltzes.
When I'm doing design work and I'm really needing to focus and tune the world out, I need to listen to music, but I can't listen to anything with words.
I listen to
classical helps me. The music keeps my brain focused and also turns out all the other people noises.
I heard a writer say she listens to music in languages she doesn't speak. And it does kind of the
that
same.
Would,
So I love I love French pop and French.
There you go.
So
I listened to I was listening to a podcast and it was a writer talking about what he listens to, and it's a YouTube playlist called Lo-Fi Hip Hop 24/7, and it's all really chill, mellow beats basically. So it's really good background music. So I listen to that when I'm editing stuff or writing stuff or whatever.
Even more than classical is that same idea. It's pop music, but it's just instrumental versions of it. So I am getting like you said, the beat. It's not all if I listen to too much classical, I'm so relaxed I want to sleep.
That's daunting.
And I need my brain to gears to turn.
To keep going.
Okay, number 17, a song that would.
Some of these are written strangely.
A song that you would sing as a duet on karaoke. With on karaoke.
Okay. So I don't do karaoke. I don't even like to go to karaoke.
It's hilarious because you have a beautiful singing voice. I do not, and I have to be very drunk to even consider going to karaoke.
The one that I would do is Bang Bang, but with Ariana Grande and Jessie J and Nicki Minaj.
Oh yeah, that's a fun song.
That would be a fun
song
to do. See, there's 3 people. There's 3 of us.
Mine is Under Pressure by Queen and Bowie, because I think that would just be a really fun duet.
Yeah,
but you'd have to be able to sing,
we have
or not.
Friends who's very good at karaoke, and I can't remember the song. It's an Evanescence song that's a duet, and he would do both the female and the male leads, and he'd do it perfectly.
That's awesome,
Jared. If you're out there. Mine is Don't Go Breaking My Heart.
Oh, yeah.
And I just found that Elton John and RuPaul did a duet.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I forgot, one of his more recent albums is duets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he's... Yeah. That's awesome.
We just watched Rocket Man. Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
I liked it, but it was... I don't know.
I just really, really, really love Taron Egerton. So.
Yes. Taron Egerton singing... Richard Madden singing, the guy who plays Barry.
Is that the guy who was Mr. Robot?
No,
that was somebody else. That was the guy who
of the other
Queen.
Yeah.
It's very different when you can control your story as opposed to when you're dead and you can't control your story. I don't think that he sugar-coated things. It's just very light representation of very dark things.
It doesn't get very
but it was fun and I enjoyed it. Number 18, a song from the year you were born.
I was born in 1964, and that is the year that You Can't Buy Me Love.
I love that song.
That's awesome.
I love that movie.
I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. I was born in 1988, and that's the year that Handle with Care by the Traveling Wilburys came out.
Aww. Oh, I love that band.
Mine is 1981. I was delighted to find out that one of my favorite songs from childhood that my dad also used to play for me Elvira by the Oak Ridge Boys. Elvira.
That's funny.
And that's when I matched 9 to 5 also, in 1981. But it didn't feel like an honest answer because 9 to 5 is something actually really, I only watched the movie in recent history and got into the song recently. Okay, number 19. A song that makes you think about life.
Cat's Cradle by
that's
Harry,
good.
whatever his name is.
Chapin?
Chapin
Carpenter.
Yeah. Mine's Ooh La La by Faces.
That one.
So Faces is, I think, what Rod Stewart was in before he was just Rod Stewart. But it's a song about, like, I mean, it's about fathers and sons, but it's like growing older and wasn't my dad stupid? He told me all these stupid things, and then you grow up and then you realize it's like Cat's Cradle.
Oh, how cool.
But that's also like top 3 favorite songs.
Wow. Mine is Bridge Over Troubled Water, which is originally a Simon and Garfunkel song.
Almost got on my list.
Really love Aretha Franklin's version. Because it makes you think about like I often listen to it when I'm down, and then if you think about like being that for someone else, you can kind of pull yourself out of your own bullshit. Excuse my French. 20. A song that has many meanings to you. This one I found kind of
my definition's a little loose.
Yeah. I came up with Imagine by John Lennon.
That's good.
Because I thought there's just a lot of things to think about in...
Remind me to show you the album cover from that song.
Okay.
There's a very strange song on that album that I've never heard anyone talk about.
You've shown me that, I think.
Yeah, I'll show it to you later, Karin.
Okay. I don't remember what it is, but I remember it was weird.
And I can't believe no one ever talks about
it. Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
I'm sure it's like very ironic. Not ironic, just it was meant to offend.
Probably.
To make you think.
Yeah, knowing the artist, John Lennon, yeah.
Okay.
Mine's Going to California by Led Zeppelin because it's a really pretty song and it makes me happy to listen to because I like it, but it's also really sad. Like, it's a sad song, but it's a very pretty song.
Really writing that one down.
This one is like the many meetings I took more as this is a strange way I think about this music, and probably only other people who went to OLPH the same time as I did, at the elementary school I went to. Jesus Christ Superstar, I think of it as Christmas music. Because
I could see that.
We did it as our Christmas show one year. We did a passion play as our Christmas show. So it spans the year for me.
Yeah.
Number 21. I'm sorry, my phone went to sleep. I think we spent more than one sentence on a few of these.
Yeah.
A favorite song with a person's name in it. Mrs.
Robinson.
Oh, I love that song.
Simon and Garfunkel.
That's good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I have Maggie May by Rod Stewart.
So you're a Rod Stewart fan.
I am.
I'm learning this about you.
It's a more recent fandom.
Okay. Layla by Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Because I know someone who's named after that song.
My dog is named after that song.
Really? It really annoys her when you ask her. Oh,
yeah.
Like the Eric Clapton song? Yes.
Yes. Isn't it Derek and the Dominoes before Eric Clapton?
I don't know.
I know they sing it, but I don't know if it's... Anyway.
No, he wrote that. I he wrote...
I could be wrong.
He wrote Layla for his first wife, I believe.
Oh.
I don't know.
Who was married to George Harrison also.
Number 22. A song that moves you forward.
This was another weird one.
Yeah. Someone Like You by Adele.
Oh, Eric Clapton's in Derek and the Dominoes.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, sorry.
So it was him. So.
I knew that was wrong.
So, well, yes but no.
Yeah.
It was him, and it was Derek and the Dominoes, so.
I'm sorry.
Right twice, wrong once. I don't know. All right. Song that moves you forward.
I didn't hear what Karen's was because I was talking. I'm sorry.
Someone Like You by Adele.
Oh, okay. Don't Stop Me Now by Queen.
Yeah. All right, that's awesome. Video by India Ari, which I bet no one's ever listened to this song.
No.
Other than, people who bought that album. It's a great song about, like, I am the way I am. I will live my life the way I live it, and it's not for you, it's for me. And I love her music in general, but I particularly love that song. I just put it on a playlist that is trying to build a playlist of, like, I'm like, good. I call it worth it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm worth it.
You got any
I
Lizzo
can
on
just
there?
face the word. Duh. Feeling good as, or what, good as hell?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's on that playlist also. 23. A song you think everybody should listen to.
I heard this song today. UNITY
Oh, yeah.
by Queen Latifah.
I love that song.
I thought,
How
yeah.
apt.
Yeah. Mine is Sunflower by Post Malone, which I think it was written for the new Spider-Man movie, the animated version, but it's such a good song, and I wouldn't have told you that I liked Post Malone until, I love him because I think he's hilarious, but like his music, this song, he's not the only one that sings on it. I don't know who the other guy is who sings like the chorus.
The music in that is fantastic, just like everything about that movie. So
it's such a good song.
Yeah, I'm sure I liked it when I heard it. Mine is that my Catholic's going to show Prayer of St. Francis, and the version that starts "Make me a channel of your love." It's a prayer about being good to other people and looking for the best way to serve other people. Seek to understand instead of be understood. Seek to love instead of to be loved. And you can hear Sarah McLachlan sing it.
Okay.
Fantastic. All right, number 24. A song by a band you wish were still together.
Don't Dream It's Over by Crowded House.
Oh,
Which is kind of funny because they're not together. It's over for them.
What is it called?
Don't Dream It's Over by Crowded House.
Oh,
I love
I
Crowded
should have
House.
picked something by No Doubt. Anyway.
Oh, sad.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't. But
I chose a Beatles song.
it was hard not to.
Yeah. They weren't anywhere else on my list, so I had to. And I think what their best song is what I chose, which is A Day in the Life.
Oh,
So-
yes.
I know that one offhand.
That's the one I picked.
Mine is a real phone-in, but I still love this song. Wannabe by the Spice Girls.
I almost chose a Spice Girls song. I was this close, and I was like, no, don't do it.
I don't usually pick that genre at all, as you could probably tell from my list.
But wouldn't it be fun to go to a Spice Girls reunion
my God,
show?
it'd be so fun!
I do wish they were still
Yes.
together. Posh would never.
No. 25. A song by an artist no longer living. That's where I was going to put Last Dance with Mary Jane.
Higher Love by Whitney Houston.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't really a fan, but I really like that song.
It is a beautiful song.
I have Changes by Bowie. I love Bowie.
How did I not choose a Bowie song? La Bamba. Richie Valens. I love that movie so much.
It's been a minute since I've seen that movie. I remember watching it in Spanish class.
So sad. I'm going to cry right now. Number 26. A song that makes you want to fall in love.
A Wink and a Smile by Harry Connick Jr.
Oh. I love every Harry Connick Jr.
Yeah, you could pretty much put any Harry Connick Jr. in there and you'd be like, oh, yeah.
The Nola CD is...
Isn't that the one that's all funk?
I think so, which is not my favorite.
I saw his... Okay, before we moved up here, I went with a coworker that I worked in the Valley with, up to Santa Barbara Bowl and saw him play that album.
I've seen him at Hollywood Bowl a couple times. Number 26. A song that makes you want to fall in love.
Can't Stop Falling in Love by Elvis. Can't Help Falling in Love, excuse me. Yeah, it's such a cute song.
Come Away With Me, Norah Jones.
Oh, I love that song.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, number 27. A song that breaks your heart.
Ironbound by Suzanne Vega.
I don't know that song.
It's this tale of this... it's also called Fancy Poultry in the Ironbound section of Avenue L, where the Portuguese women come to see what you sell. The clouds so low, the morning so slow as that wires cut through the sky. And then it goes through the sing-song, fancy poultry parts sold here, breasts and thighs and hearts. Backs are cheap and wings are nearly free.
Oh.
And they're not talking about really poultry.
Oh,
they're
no.
talking about these women that have to sell them.
I could understand.
Yeah.
I kind of got that.
Subtext more.
Let me explain it to you.
Thank you. I like it drawn out. Katie?
Wild Montana Skies by John Denver and Emmylou Harris.
Oh, I love John Denver.
It makes me cry. Like it's a song about a boy who's born and his mother dies, then his dad dies, and I have the lyrics because I have to read it, but his mom sings the song when she's like breastfeeding him.
Oh.
It's, "Oh, Montana, give this child a home, give him the love of a good family and a woman of his own, give him a fire in his heart and a light in his eyes, give him the wild wind for a brother and the wild Montana skies." It's a very sweet but also like heartbreaking song.
wow.
I gotta find that because I like both of them. There was a tie for this one, and then I just thought of a third one that should tie there too. Okay, first, "Don't Take the Girl" by Tim McGraw, 90s country. And he's singing about like, oh, it's just this little boy and girl, and they grow up and they fall in love, and then she's having their baby. Don't take the girl. Okay. "Tears in Heaven."
Oh, yeah.
For his little boy.
Yeah.
Third one, "Hard Candy Christmas," Dolly Parton.
Oh, no.
And also there's like some other...
There's a lot of Dolly songs.
Because there's another one I found on an album that sings... It's a song about like a starving little girl who doesn't make it, I think.
Oh, no.
If I remember right. I don't remember what that one's called. She's got a lot like that.
Yeah, like the Technicolor Dreamcoat
Yeah.
one.
Oh, that one too.
Yeah. Dolly.
My mom made me Pretty Things and Mean Girls.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, there was that show where that what was that show that had an actress and
Need an actress.
The show with the actress is all we've got so far.
but her favorite song that she used to sing with her aunt was Dolly Parton songs. And
Are you talking about the movie?
There's a movie, yeah.
Dumpling?
Dumpling.
I love Dolly Parton 80s and 90s movies so much, and like the more ridiculous the scenario.
Yeah, because Jennifer Aniston played the mother.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
so
a
good.
cute movie.
So good.
Okay.
Back to the love of Dolly
list.
Parton.
Yeah. We only got 3 left, guys.
Alrighty.
And
Almost
I
there.
skipping. A song by an artist with a voice that you love.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Yeah.
Annie Lennox is the bomb.
Oh.
And so, "Who's That Girl" by the Eurythmics.
Yeah, that's
good.
cool.
I just love her voice.
Yeah.
I don't listen to her a lot, but I love Billie Eilish's voice. And her song that she wrote for the new, it's called "No Time to Die." She wrote it for the new James Bond movie. Is very good. So I picked that.
I'm having a hard time, but I know I'm going to love her in the end. Because it's like really hard for a 17-year-old to like tell me how life is.
Yo, yeah, I know.
But she is undeniably so talented.
She's very talented. But yes, I know. But that's a good song.
Anything by Harry Connick Jr. Like we just talked about that, but I had to narrow it down a little bit, right? So Harry Connick Jr. This is the album that I learned of him basically. "When My Heart Finds Christmas," and so one song on that. "What Are You Doing New Year's Eve?" My little like 13-year-old heart of pitter pat. I'll be there, Harry. Mark the time and day. Number 29. A song that you remember from your childhood.
"Midnight Train to Georgia" by Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Nice. This is where I put "Rock Lobster" by the B-52s. I listened to a lot of B-52s and Devo as a kid.
Oh, Devo.
Really, I should have probably put hello. What's one? Love Shack. On
yeah.
this. Kokomo, Beach Boys.
Oh,
I worked really
yeah.
hard to memorize that, and I would.
That's on my list of movies that I remember as a kid, but only the Muppets version. Because the Muppets sang it once, and that's what I think of. So that was like my childhood.
You know,
a couple years later.
A lot of Elton John songs are the Chipmunks to me.
Okay.
Like Crocodile Rock.
I can see that.
Uptown Girl. And then an honorable mention is "I'm Gonna Wash That Man Right Out of Your Hair" from South Pacific Musical. Because my mom used to sing that when she washed my hair. Number 30. This, I think we all had a little challenge
This
with
was
number
weird.
30. I think it's a great way to end this. A song that reminds you of yourself.
I looked for a long time.
All right, Karin.
I looked up songs. I did a search of songs for introverts.
There you go.
All right.
And this one is called "Perfectly Lonely" by John Mayer.
Oh.
I don't know that song.
I don't like John Mayer, but I do end up singing along to his songs.
Well, my husband plays a lot of his songs on guitar, so.
I have "The Middle" by Jimmy Eat World.
Oh, that's good.
It's a song that I remember. I saw Jimmy Eat World live once, and it's just like from when I was in high school. But it's a good song about like growing up and finding yourself and stuff like that.
Perfect for a middle child.
Yeah.
That wasn't where you were going?
No.
Okay, so first I was going to cop out and go with a song that two boys told me like they'd listened to the song and it made me think of me. Short Skirt, Long Jacket by Cake. And so a early boyfriend told me that from like my long forever crush that I got to date in high school. And then Kevin, my husband, told me that, and I ruined it when I couldn't help but share that, oh, you're the second guy to tell me
Oh,
that.
no. You're not the first man to tell me that.
Well, I mean, there must be something there. Like, I'm
funny.
that girl.
I love that.
And then Head Over Feet by Alanis Morissette, because that, like, is a very self-effacing song, and it's another song we played at our wedding that, or was on our wedding playlist, that makes me think of, like, how I see myself and how it feels to be really loved by someone. Wow, that was fun.
That was fun. Good job, guys.
Yeah, I like that. Anybody want to share obsessions?
Oh, yeah. I've been watching a lot of trash TV.
What is it?
So the one I've just started is Married at First Sight.
Oh,
which
that
I just
sounds like a entrance to hell.
Yeah, it's like the premise is like these experts go to like a city and then you can like apply to be on the show, and then they like weed through all these people and they narrow it down to like a group of people, and then they do like psychological evaluations and whatever, and then they pair people up, so it's 4 couples that meet at the altar and get married, and then it's like following them for 8 weeks to see like who makes it or not.
Oh my god,
it's very fun to watch.
Oh boy.
So that's what I've been watching. I'm watching season 9 because it's the only one that's on Netflix.
Okay.
It's the first one I've watched.
Nice.
We discovered a show last night that I'm now going to be obsessed with.
Yeah, it's on that. You like meet it and you're like, I'm obsessed.
It's
with
on
it.
Netflix. Okay, you guys might be too young for this, but there used to be a show for kids called Legends of the Hidden Temple.
I love Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Okay,
That was
they
my
have-
childhood.
I know.
How did you watch it?
I'm sorry, you're right. We're too young for it, Katie.
Because I had kids.
That was probably like right in between.
Because I had kids who were obsessed.
Yeah.
But they have an adult version of that called The Floor is Lava.
Oh,
awesome.
I saw
Oh
it.
my
That's why I
gosh,
wondered
it is
about
so good.
Have you seen the preview for the new Star Wars show that's like that? It's all like
What?
Star Wars themed, and it's called like the Jedi Challenge, and it's like little kids that are like training to become a Jedi. It
I
looks
don't want a
very
little
cute.
kid. I want the
You wanna
grown-up
be-
version.
yeah,
I mean, I
because-
get it, but
The
Okay.
floor is
Oh,
the
it's
it's
floor
like
is lava.
What's that
Because-
stupid show where people bounce off
But
the
what's
balls?
really kind
Well,
of
that's the other one that she
Yeah.
loves. What is that called?
Wipeout.
Yeah.
It's like Wipeout.
Wipeout, yeah. But this one's okay. But the floor is lava is like one room, and when the person falls in the lava, they don't come back up. I don't know where they
die.
went. There must be someone down there
It's
that
life or
grabs them
death.
and pulls them into some other place, because either that or they stop the taping.
That's like
and
that one
it's hysterical.
that one Doctor Who where you get like I can't think of the word. The laser shoots you and you go away.
Oh,
Disintegrated?
Disintegrated. Yes, thank you. It's the one where they get disintegrated on the game show network. No, okay.
Nope.
Um,
Don't remember that one.
do you guys even Doctor Who? This is the second time.
Sorry.
today.
I thought you were gonna tell me it was like the one which I always think of. Do you remember the one with the Absorbalux and the guy's stuck in the concrete? He's like becomes part of the sidewalk,
No.
or she does, or something, and it's like this monster that like absorbs people. Anyway,
That sounds a little familiar.
he like
Sounds
gets absorbed into the floor.
Sounds like a very creepy Doctor Who.
It's
monster.
either like a ninth
Oh,
Doctor or a
yeah.
really early 10th Doctor.
I
don't
remember that. Yeah, because there's this scene where they're going through like the train tunnel, and
I don't
Maybe there's
remember it
another one.
specifically, but anyway.
where there's you see, and it looks like
Absorbalux.
murals on the wall, but really they're the people that got
Yeah.
absorbed into the wall.
Oh. That's right
Good.
where we are in like my current rewatching to introduce it to Dante, so I might not have seen that one again yet. We're
That's a good
stuck on
one.
a Cyberman, and I hate Cybermen. And I
Yeah.
hate
Oh,
Daleks.
yeah.
I like Daleks, but I don't like Cybermen.
Um,
And I like the little fat
I
Fat
love
babies.
those,
Oh,
yes.
the
little fat
The
babies.
adipose?
Yes,
adipose.
I
I
love
love
those.
them.
My obsession right now is reading cookbooks. It's really soothing.
Oh, I like that.
I don't like cooking enough to do all the things that I'm enjoying reading.
It's
so-
fun to just flip through a cookbook,
Yeah.
though.
I think it's because it's like so like you get this thing, and you put them together, and this is the orderly way that they come together and make this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a couple new cookbooks. The Wizard's Desserts Cookbook by Aurelia Beau Pommier, and I think that's translated, and I can't tell. Aurelia, I think, is usually a Portuguese first name, but I can't find anything about her, like if it's French or Portuguese. Canning for a new generation. There's this recipe for something called, like, I don't remember what it's called, but you take corn cobs and green apples, and you get this golden yellow, clear, perfect jelly, and it's photographed so beautifully, and it sounds so delicious. I must have it.
Wow.
As soon as my kitchen's done, I want to make it. And then I've never heard of this shop, but I guess it's a famous British department store, Fortnum and Mason.
Oh, I've heard of that.
And I picked it up just because the book was so beautiful. Christmas and Other Winter Feasts.
I think it's supposed to be like fancy, like Macy's fancy. Like,
I think so too.
Or like Nordstrom's, you know.
It reminded me of those. There were the two different Masterpiece Theater things where it was like the telling. One was an actual telling about one of the first department stores and how it came together, and then there was like a.
There was a series about the American who had a department store. That was
But it's not that one.
But it's not that one.
Anyway.
Cool.
Well, this was fun, guys.
That was fun.
I know people like seeing our faces, but I think that it's really magical when three of us are in the same room talking to each other. So
the interaction is better.
It's great, and it doesn't hurt my brain.
Yeah,
like I've been reading things about how Zoom hurts your brain, and I agree.
Yep. I saw a meme that was like, I can't wait to never use Zoom again. It's like, same.
For
Big
reals.
same.
For reals.
All right. Well, we hope y'all are having as good a time as you can have, and staying safe and well, and we will talk at you in a month.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and we're doing our book club.
Oh, yeah. New book.
Karin got to pick.
Oh, it was so good. I read it in a day and a half, and I'm going to go and read it again. It was so good.
What is it?
All right.
What was it called? Oh, Such a Fun Age.
Yeah. So if you want to
That's
read
the
along
name of
with
the
us,
book,
it'll
Such
be,
a Fun Age.
that episode will be out 2 weeks from when this one comes out. So it's, I don't know when. July something.
Yep.
All right. That's it.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye.